Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here, back with another guide for Final Fantasy XVI. This time I'm going to show you how to take down Liquid Flame in the Inner Sanctum. This boss has a lot of phases. The phases are sort of like mini phases. It bounces in and out of them once the boss goes below 50% health, but there's a lot to learn in this fight. You start off automatically using a limit break, so go ahead and spend that. You're going to build it up pretty fast throughout this fight several times, so just pay attention to that. Alright, so Fiery Impact sees the boss going into an orb, moving quickly around the room, and then coming out with this overhead slam attack. Then it has this Gill axe kick from Third Strike that it can use. It always does that twice, once with each leg, and then you can easily dodge that. Just pay attention to the foot itself, and then once the foot starts moving down, you're good to go. The boss always follows up that big punch attack with a sort of sliding punch attack, so you can active dodge both or precision dodge both, but that second one he'll always move away from you, so hopefully you're able to precision dodge it quickly and then get pretty close to the boss for your follow-up attack, but it will always move away. So normally I don't really recommend using Aerial Blast and creating this tornado when you have the boss at a 50% takedown. However, because the boss is so big, you can keep an eye on him while he's inside of that tornado, and you don't really lose track of him. So Fiery Impact finally figured out the timing there, got a precision counter, and the boss has a long recovery window at this point after using that attack, so you can get some decent damage in there as well as some good will damage. So we have a full stagger here. At this point, I'm going to use Ignition, just below right into the boss, and then we're going to use Judgment Bolt to get a lot of damage on the boss. It's almost like a limit break in itself. We're going to pop our limit, and then make sure you keep mashing up on the D-pad while you're using this. This way Torgal 6 the boss as well. Doesn't deal a ton of damage, but every little bit helps. It's always important to remember to use Torgal. I'm not using the accessory that automatically calls him in, so I do have to do it manually. At about 75% health, the boss will use Swelter, which is just a big cutscene of a thing. The arena does seem to get a little bit smaller, but that may just be visual. I'm not 100% certain if that's the case. It seems a bit smaller to me. But at this point, the boss is going to start shape-shifting into all sorts of creatures. And every time it goes into an orb, it's going to come out looking like something else. So the boss also gets Firaga at this point, which is just a big orb of fire. It's pretty easy to dodge, but it can take you by surprise. So the boss can turn into a demonic-looking wyvern, and then it will do a big sweeping fire breath attack. You can use Phoenix Shift to get up there and deal some damage to it. I'm just not very good at reacting that quickly to it. I tend to rely more on dodges, as you see here. So the boss sort of maintains the same foray of attacks, just adds more in. Lots of shape-shifting at this stage of the fight. So just do your best to heal up using Torgal if you like. Somehow I'm getting these parries. These are not deliberate. I would tell you if they were, but they are not deliberate at all. So at 50%, make sure to use Deadly Embrace or 50% will. Use Deadly Embrace. Use Aerial Blast to summon the Tornado. Restore any health you have using this attack here with the Phoenix. And then continue on to the fight. So at this point, what I'm really trying to do is just break the boss's will entirely. And using Rook's Gambit is super effective for that. Using really anything from the Ramuh tree is very effective with that. Ramuh's attacks deal a lot of will damage. And then, of course, pop your limit break. Keep mashing up on the D-pad to have Torgal help out. It's only doing 65, 70 damage, but it's still super helpful. All right, so we had the boss down to about 25% health, and at this point, things are going to get crazy. So he's going to use 11th Hour, which sees the boss jump up into a big fireball, and then start shape-shifting into everything. At this point, though, we're really just looking for one enemy, and then eventually it will spawn out into more. You can dodge all of these, but you won't be able to really do any follow-up attacks onto them just because they move so quickly. So 11th Hour is an attack you primarily just got to focus on dodging. When the boss transforms back into himself, he will have this huge AoE, which somehow I managed to dodge as it was exploding, but you really just want to get out of the ring. I think Rook's Gambit just gave me some invincibility there, even though I didn't use it at the right time. But if you feel like you're not going to make it out, use Rook's Gambit and maybe you'll have the same luck. I wish I could tell you why that happened. I always thought Rook's Gambit had to be used with a precision. I didn't think it could just be used to eat some damage, but that's how it worked. All right, so the boss is, really just starting to get kind of crazy at this point, and you're going to notice that this is like the longest part of the fight, and it's because you don't have a lot of opportunities for damage because the boss is moving so much. So Flagrant Wyvern slams down, but then it immediately shapeshifts back into the boss, so you have to just try to get precision dodges, break the will, and then just try to take the boss down as much as you can. Using Aerial Blast at this point is actually a pretty good idea because the tornado will always follow the boss regardless of what shape it's in. And this really just allows you to get constant will damage on the boss. Even while shape-shifting, the tornado will still follow along and then basically show up again as soon as the boss transforms back into a damageable form. So that curl right there, that tiger form, you can precision dodge its whip attack, but again, it's tough to get any damage on it. So the fight will, no joke, just feel like it's dragging on at this point. Even with a precision dodge of the Wyvern, really wasn't able to get much done. Flagrant Curl is pretty difficult to dodge. You know, the boss just moves so fast, and even if you do get a precision dodge, you really can't get any damage. But once you do get the boss at 0% will, and you do break him, just unleash everything you have onto him. Flames of Rebirth, whatever you got, just deal as much damage as you can. This way you can end the fight before you have to deal with that cycle once again. But that's Liquid Flame. Again, the final phase of that fight is really the longest because the boss is just shape-shifting so much and moving around so much that you don't have a lot of opportunities for damage. You really just got to wait for it to get back into its humanoid form, dodge the axe kicks, and then you'll be able to get something done. But that's it. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more guides for Final Fantasy XVI, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new guides go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below this video. You can also leave a super thanks by clicking the heart icon below this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. The links for those are in the description below. As always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.